Mom really doesn't even want that green card. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. At least once a month, someone calls my office and their case is all messed up. They tried to get mom a green card and they probably did it too early. And when I say mom, I could mean dads or could mean some other family member, but there are a surprisingly high number of people who want to get green cards for family members, and those family members don't really want them. They sure as heck don't want to stay here in the United States for the amount of time that it takes to get that green card, and we're going to talk about it in today's video. So the typical scenario is you have a U.S. citizen here in the United States, and they have a mom and dad back in the home country, and mom and dad like to visit and come to the United States, but for some reason their visit visas haven't been getting approved anymore. Maybe they've come too often, maybe the State Department is just tired of giving them those visit visas, and so the decision is made to get mom or dad a green card. And I've seen it over and over again where the parents aren't really ready to come to the United States. They're definitely not ready to settle here permanently. They're willing to go through the process, and basically they're doing what their son or daughter tells them to do, but their whole heart's not in it. They don't definitely want to stay here, and they don't really care about the green card. They're just wanting to be able to come to America, to see their grandkids, to see their children, and then to go back to their home country. They are not the typical kind of person who wants lawful permanent resident status. And you have to understand that the State Department and USCIS are built with lawful permanent residents in mind, and the whole system is not really built for people who just want to use a green card to be able to get in and out of the United States easily. The way this manifests itself is in two ways. The first big problem that we see is when mom and dad come to the United States and sonny boy or daughter decide that they want to apply for that green card. Mom and dad can't apply in the first 60 days because otherwise it will seem as if they had immigrant intent, even if they don't know what in the heck's going on. And so you have to wait at least 60 days to file. Then once you file, you have a long period of waiting for advance parole. Mom and dad can't leave the United States while that green card case is pending. So sometimes mom and dad thought they were only going to be here for 3 or 4 months. Now they find out they have to stay for 7, 8, 9, 10 months waiting for advance parole or waiting for the green card to be approved. Because if they leave, that whole application is going to be abandoned, the filing fee is going to be wasted, and the file is going to be thrown in the trash, except for the I-130, which is simply to establish the relationship between the U.S. citizen and their parents. So the one big hassle that we see is when mom or dad gets stuck inside the United States waiting for that green card to be approved. And we've had fights break out, literally fights in our office, where parents are yelling at their children for making them stay. We don't want that to happen. The other big way that problems manifest itself when everybody's not on the same page when it comes to getting a green card for mom or dad is when mom or dad get that green card and then they find out they have to come back to the United States on a pretty regular basis. They can't have any trips outside the United States for more than 6 months, and they sure as heck can't go a year without being here. Without at least getting a reentry permit, that's a whole other cost, and it sort of defeats the purpose of getting the green card in the first place. So where this comes up then is when mom and dad feel like they have to come back to the United States too often. Now they're upset at their children for making them go through all this, and they really wish they had just stuck with the visit visas. Or sometimes they're so frustrated, they're like, I don't even want to bother with coming back to the United States. So the purpose of this video is to encourage you to talk to mom or dad. Don't just simply say, I know what's best. I'm going to get them a green card because that's going to get them here faster and more often. That's not what you should be doing. You should make sure that everyone is on the same page, that everyone is in agreement that the green card is the right route for this mom or this dad, and proceed accordingly. You want to have those discussions at the early onset of the case. You don't want to be doing that when the stresses of a delayed case or the stresses of having to come back to the United States come up. You want to do all this just one time. You don't want to confuse the agency by filing for a green card and then withdrawing it, or then having the person leave the United States before they get advance parole, or getting a green card and then, because they don't come very often, losing that green card, because that's going to complicate your immigration history down the road. Hope this all makes sense. If you are thinking about applying for a green card or an immigrant visa for your mom or dad and you would like our help, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200. Email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for some free information, some free advice, feel free to join our Immigrant Home Facebook group. We have thousands of immigrants talking about sponsoring their mom or dad for a green card in there, or any other kind of immigration case. We also have our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to. That way, whenever I make a new video like this one, you'll get alerted. And moreover, that's where we host our Immigration Answers live show, where people come on 3 or 4 times a week and ask me questions related to immigration every week. So we'd love to have you there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.